either that one. Draw that one. It's a rough sketch. It's kind of hard with the camera. I mean, with the phone. I do realism, but almost realism. It's gonna take me a little bit longer to draw this since I'm holding my phone. just making adjustments. That's what a rough sketch is. At first, a rough sketch, then you make adjustments. Gotta take your time in doing it. Think it needs a little bit more to the pupil, more time. Or downwards. Let's press more harder to get darker shades, but don't rely on just this, like just graphite alone to get darker shades. Sorry I didn't post anything before. Earlier. I didn't post anything earlier today. I was tired. Fix this. It's too curved. Starting to post more, except for my school days. On the weekends, Friday or Thursday to maybe Thursday, but definitely Friday to Sunday. And show you how to draw more. Okay, so fix this a little bit more. Make it go like this. It's a little too high. So it's more, it stops at right here. It's kind of blocking it, so it's gonna be more downwards, more lower. Try to make before you move on to anything else, like, start out with the easy part, which is this part, the outside, and then work your way up to the pupil, which is the hardest part. Just turn in like the rough sketch, make sure it looks right, doesn't look too like really off, looks pretty good. This needs to be curved just a little bit. Don't wanna fix. Always start with the lightest pencils so you can erase them easily. And for rougher, more layers, use watercolor paper or thicker paper. My first time using watercolor paper, besides like actually drawing with it, with graphite. Okay. Sorry for the lighting. This actually needs to be a little bit higher. It's okay to make mistakes at first. You're drawing cartoons, and then work your way up to semi-realism, and then of course realism. Your rough outlines need to be like not straight, just kind of random lines, even straight lines. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now we can start on to, first we gotta do the outside, like the eyelashes, eyebrows. Always make sure to take your eraser, like, just take it off, erase your stuff. Start out with where you think it's at, and then if it's not right, do it a couple of times more until it looks almost exactly like it. You don't want to spend too much time on it unless it's realism, because at the end of the day, it's cartoons or anime, whatever you want to call it. I call it anime. So we're gonna, since this is too thin, the circle, we're gonna make it thicker, about a little thinner than this. Since it's watercolor paper, it's a lot thicker, so you can press down on it harder because you're dealing with, you're drawing with clay, essentially. Like hard clay. And then do 2 more circles. 1 more right here. 1 right here. This definitely needs to be a little bit more thicker. Talking so y'all won't get bored of just looking at this, or I won't get bored. To make a lot of mistakes because, like I said, I'm recording right now and I'm holding it at the same time. So do a little bit more. It's okay to, if you think the key to adjusting a drawing when it's a rough sketch, if it's almost good, the parts that you think look so, the parts that you think that looks good the best, adjust it just a little bit if it looks a little bit off. all it is just making things more better, like more accurate in a little bit of a time, because making something a little bit more thicker, something more bigger, or something like something that's more to get more detailed without it looking off, like spending a long time on it at first so you won't mess up on the shading. But remember to take your time on your drawing, because it's gonna look off. Some people do it different, some people do it by memory. I learned a lot. I'm just suggesting it. I hope to do more posting, but I have things I have to do, like chores, stuff like that. I have to do a lot. Live on I'm always busy. Erase this. Erase this. Oh, like these corners, don't make sure it wraps around the corners. Like draw a curve to the corners. Don't just erase the corners. Draw over them. I plan not to be just a random person on YouTube. Like, I plan to be somewhat famous, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know. This video's meant to be long to show you like how to draw. It like really shows you how to draw. Well, how it shows how I draw in real time. So you won't just look at it and then just skip over things or something, like to show you in depth and detailed. This is how it looks supposed to look like. That's how it looks like. takes like, I think, around 40 minutes to draw it. Around an hour to draw around this size. If you want it done correctly. And then to make sure to do, when you're doing the eyebrows, to be careful with them, because they're work slow. Because if you were doing a realism, the eyebrows would, since they're darker, you can't erase them. If you're working with carbon, graphite, Faber-Cast pencil, colored pencil, graphite. I think they're mixed with black color pencil. That's what I heard. I've been drawing since I was 6. And I've been drawing every single week on the weekends. Drawing for like 4 hours. Drawing for like a long time. Forget this is a huge drawing. I mean, if I was working with grids, you can see like if it's in the box or out of the box, if it's too big or too small, or out of line, out of the box. I'm kind of looking at the phone when I'm drawing, so can't. The phone's kind of in the way, so I have to look at it whenever I'm leaning to my left, because it's really in the way. But I'm recommend. I think we're done with the hard part. The outline's more the most important, because if you get that wrong, it's just like coloring. When you're drawing, make sure to fix it up a little bit at the end to get it more, if you want it to be perfect, just to make it look a little bit better. So this part's really thick. It's like the line is really thick. When you're drawing something off a picture or something from the, and it's light, if you're drawing something black and white with a pencil that you found, and it's like graphite and it's light, use a mechanical pencil My favorite type of mechanical pencil is either a Saratoga or a Graph Gear 1000 pencil. Making rough lines. Make sure to make them somewhat decent. Decent when you're doing a rough sketch. Try your best to draw it and then take your time. Some people in my family can draw better than me, I think. So, but I'm trying really hard. Now to the easy part. The coloring or shading. There's three different. Normally there's three different. If there's this anime, there's three different shades. So if you see something that's similar and there's four, it's most likely three different shades. This is done a little lighter, looking like this. Like this is done. When you look at it like 3 or 4 times to make sure. Always use a kneaded eraser just because a regular eraser doesn't erase it, and if it does, it damages the paper. Do this. Make sure that if it's near something, draw it near something, or if it's exactly by it, draw it by it. Just comparisons, look at how, if something's a lot smaller than the other or a lot farther away, make sure, pay attention. Make sure your lines are straight. If they're straight, when you're drawing it all the time, it's never perfect unless you're a professional, really good. But I do realism, well, almost, and I don't start out looking perfect. I start out looking just kind of like a random, stick figures basically. and this goes up here. This goes right here. There's a little circle right here. If it's wrong at the end, fix it. Don't just leave it like that. If you want your drawings to look perfect, but if you want to erase it, use a kneaded eraser, but do it, make sure it's flat. I got this from the dollar store. You don't really need, when it comes to just erasing lightly, don't really need expensive erasers. If you just want to erase, I have more expensive stuff already. I have expensive markers, but doesn't matter. Matters is the art, and it kind of matters on what art supplies you use, but it doesn't really, it's not gonna count if you don't, it's not gonna make the art look good if you don't know how to draw in general. If you want to draw a circle, draw with your wrist, like the best way to draw it, but it's not drawing, it's tracing, is using obviously something round. But if you want to draw it, you can get better at your lines. Line art. I'm actually terrible at line art and drawing hair. Like drawing the lines on cartoons. This is another comparison. This is supposed to be in the middle. See how this and this are two different like thicknesses? And it's supposed to be in the middle. So do it a little bit more over this one. It's okay to get kind of scratchy lines. Should almost be finished, like maybe in 20 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes after I get done. Just gotta do the mark where I'm gonna shade. Forgot to. Okay, that looks really rough, but it still somewhat cracked. So I'm gonna just lightly erase it. And do this. That's what I think is a little bit better. This is too flat. It's a lot of, it's not easy drawing cartoons. That's how I started out before I drew realism. At the end, I'm going to show you how I draw realism, or my realism drawing. Okay. I used to have trouble at school. I used to be kind of in a bad mood, and I didn't make friends, and they were mean to me. So I just drew more. Okay, so this one needs to be now we can start on the shading part. Just gotta do a little bit more stuff. I can now we can work on the shading part that looks like this. Yeah, it really does. So, like, the eraser. Do it with a make sure it's flat. Or I don't know. So I use carbon pencils. There's 2 different types that you're supposed to use if you want to draw realism. There's the matte ones and the regular ones. I have the full set. Take your darkest one. Actually, I'm gonna right here. This sharpener. Actually, I'm not gonna sharpen it. I'm gonna use it on the side. But where I marked it at is where I'm gonna shade it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get started. This carbon, it's not pure carbon, but it's a lot of carbon. Since it's not, I can't add marker, you have to press down hard. Marker helps it, so it adds more color on the paper instead of on top of the paper. So it turns the paper that color. Make sure I hold it on this side. Feels like kind of feels like Prismacolor, the darker lead. Make sure to color in the lines and press really hard.